So finally, we have a somewhat listening government in Ghana. For the first time in my content creation life, I see the government of Ghana implementing a policy they didn't have originally in their manifesto, but consistently shared on this platform. Ladies and gentlemen, they are doing it. I am not ashamed to say that I didn't vote for this government, but I'm proud of the initiatives they've chosen to embark on. And I'm proud to say to the President of Ghana, His Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, and his team, including the Finance Minister, that you guys are doing a tremendous job and you are very close to winning me over to your camp and a lot of people, especially those that follows me. First, it was our national reserves in gold increasing from 8.7 tons to 30.1 tons. And then the Ghana cedis appreciating against the US dollar from 15.6 to now 12.35 to $1. And now the state choosing to go into state farm in the last 33 years. This is pretty interesting in their 4th month in office. However, I don't want to be overly excited or speak prematurely, knowing how sloganeering of policies is popular in Ghana's politics. 1 minute, they are starting a good policy, and the next minute, it's all a scam. So, I'm at the same time trying to be skeptical in my optimism. This government may have certain individual appointees having their own struggles with how to function in the interest of the country, but the president, Mr. President, seems very much on course with maximum focus on the key areas to tackle to drive the economy forward. Do you know the Finance Minister of Ghana has just announced the government of Ghana's acquisition of 200,000 hectares of lands for the purpose of starting a state cocoa farm, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, it was just announced by the Finance Minister. And when my team first saw the news and broke it to me, the first thing they said was, the government is listening to you. I was like, what happened? They said, watch this video. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want you to watch these videos and see for yourself if our messages are being heard or not. Let's watch them. So let's look at the 3 things I'm looking out for. The first thing I look out for is when the president starts the largest state farm in Ghana. I'm talking about something never done in Ghana's history. A 5,000-acre land of maize or cassava or rice. He will have to run the biggest poultry farm in Ghana's history. 100,000 bird poultry farm in the first 2 years, ladies and gentlemen, and expand it to about 300,000 birds in the next 3 years. Now, for those who may think this is a ridiculous idea, listen, it's because you've never seen what real solutions that bring sustainable development actually means. The very asset that brings revenue to the state is the most underinvested and the most undermanaged. Cocoa Board doesn't own a cocoa farm. The Agric Ministry doesn't own a cocoa farm. The regional ministries don't have one. And the district assemblies don't own any. Our own stool lands are not used to farm cocoa except for individual farmers. Ladies and gentlemen, the problems are coming from nowhere. They are made by us and can therefore be solved by us. And now, if you haven't subscribed to this network until now, I'm simply encouraging you to hit on the subscription button and click on the notification bell to see all of my videos. And if you have never shared our video, even though you liked it, please do it for the first time to support our cause. Now, I am hopeful and confident that in our lifetime, we will see a better Ghana in some specific areas if things continue to go the way it has taken off now. Ladies and gentlemen, do you understand what this means if this government doesn't do what the previous regime did with their 1 district, 1 factory, and 1 village, 1 dam scandalous policies, but actually implement it and ensures it thrives? Do you understand what that means? That will be the beginning of a game-changing political experience in Ghana. Listen, Ghana is the world's 2nd largest producer of cocoa, and we are doing just about 500,000 to 650,000 metric tons at this time. And if this policy actually materializes and takes us up to about 1 million or 1.5 million metric tons in 5 years, as the government is mentioning, this will significantly increase our level of revenue, ladies and gentlemen. In the 2023 to 24 season, we made just about $1.7 billion in revenue from cocoa beans exports only. This could easily move up to $3 billion annually, which will be a very good thing. But ladies and gentlemen, this is where the government of Ghana can do even better. Currently, the global chocolate industry is estimated to be worth over $167 billion. So even when we make $3 billion per year from cocoa beans exports only, which will be a better thing than the previous years, we will still be making just about 1.8% of the global industry's value. This will still be nothing compared to what other countries who have never seen a cocoa tree make in a year. So, Mr. President, I'm so excited you have decided to listen to us and embark on this journey. And I'm in full support of you, and actually want to take this opportunity to congratulate you on the bold steps you are taking to improve on Ghana's economy. But, Mr. President, we have to make preparations to take it a notch higher. We have to go into chocolate and cocoa drink production on a large scale. You see, Africa is 1.5 billion people, ladies and gentlemen. That should be our foremost market, like the Chinese and the Indians have been doing with their internal markets. We need to start doing more businesses with Africa, in the sense that Africa isn't trading amongst itself. Africa is missing out on a key strategic marketing tool, which is stifling our indigenous businesses. Do you remember how they marketed toothpaste to us in the early 1990s? They started off with the benefits, whether true or not, that's another topic for another day. But they started off with the benefits and the convenience of using it to whiten our teeth, and got our doctors and dental practitioners to buy into it. And today, it's the typical life in all of Africa. In the same way, do you know how vegetarian diets are being marketed to us today? Same strategy. They are giving us the benefits and getting doctors and dietitians to propagate it on media platforms, ladies and gentlemen, and it's working for them. This is the problem. We haven't been scientific in our approach at the business of indigenous products on the continent, ladies and gentlemen. Chocolate and cocoa drinks consumption are a fantastic source of essential nutrients. Regular cocoa consumption is linked to lower blood pressure and improved blood vessel function because it's high in antioxidants, ladies and gentlemen. They improve cognitive function, boost memory and mental alertness, and increase blood flow to the brain. Experts say regular chocolate consumption is one of the best natural libido stimulants for both men and women. But how many Africans drink cocoa drinks or eat chocolate in a day in all of Africa, ladies and gentlemen? This is where the problem is. Why does the West, Asia, and the Middle East consume so much chocolate products when we don't? Meanwhile, we produce it. We are not properly advertising our products, and so we don't really see them for what they truly are. Cocoa-based drink is a beverage every child in school should have in a classroom. It should be a daily beverage for kids and adults, just as we have also accepted Coca-Cola and the rest. This is way superior compared to those Western sodas. It should be common in workplaces, in dispensers for staffs and clients. Ladies and gentlemen, we the African people are simply not being innovative with anything, because if we were, and it happened for the chocolate beverage drink industry, we would have successfully quadrupled the global market value of cocoa to nearly $1 trillion right here in Africa. We don't have any such beverage widely advertised and consumed from anywhere on the motherland, ladies and gentlemen. And so, I don't take it lightly at all with the president's interest in investing in state-owned cocoa farms. Ladies and gentlemen, this is directly going to create jobs and change the local economy of where the farm will be created. But most importantly, this could start a new industrial revolution with the processing of the cocoa beans. And in my proposal to the president, I added that he dedicates one of the state TV channels to cover the daily activities of the farm. This will send a message to all Ghanaians at home that the state is now working. It will encourage patriotism and usher in a renewed sense of nationalism. Ladies and gentlemen, it cannot be done in secrecy or on the blind side of Ghanaians. This must be shown every day to the public for everybody to see. From there, we can look into sugarcane plantation, poultry production, fish, and every other sector that takes so much revenue from Ghana. This is the way to go, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm just proud of this bold initiative. Hopefully, in the future, we can also talk about a state mining company. Mr. President, so far, in my books, you have scored 7 out of 10, which is pretty solid, and I hope you keep the focus, which is the most important part of being successful. Folks, thanks for watching this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. It is bye-bye for now.